Hey everyone, thanks for hopping in, joining us this afternoon. We'll give it just a few minutes for people to funnel in and get settled. I'll start in just a minute. Thanks. Fantastic. Well, again, really appreciate everyone spending some time with us this Thursday afternoon. My favorite part of my job here, hosting the Unicorn Hunt once a month. This is our 26th episode of the Unicorn Hunt, so it's always exciting bringing some issuers in who are actively raising on Republic's platform, building some really great companies, have some great teams surrounding them. So I'm really excited to hear from all three of them. Again, we're gonna go through a couple pitches in the beginning. Towards the middle part, we'll have some time for Q&A with the audience. I have a few prepared questions as well. If you've tuned in, you've heard them before. Nevertheless, if you have any questions, please do send them through the Q&A function in Zoom. We've got only 3 issuers with us today, so we'll have plenty of time to get to any questions you might have. And so please don't be shy about asking them. I know all of our founders here would love to engage and talk to you guys. And on the topic of the founders, love to introduce all 3 of them. First off, we've got Barry Arnold, founder, CEO of Bardelia. We got Rob Collins, he's the founder of Coin. And we've got Kevin Drolet, CMO, Chief Marketing Officer of Sorbiforce. So again, super excited to hear from all 3 of these issuers. Everything you hear today, please note, it's not investment advice, and everyone is always encouraged to do their due diligence before making any investment decisions. Investing in the private markets is particularly risky. But with that said, I would love to pass it over, Barry, to yourself. Get us started here as you tell us a little bit more about Bardelia.
That sounds great. There must be 2 Barry Arnolds here because that is not a picture of me, as most of you probably noticed. But I'll pinch hit for that other Barry. Thrilled to be with you today. Actually calling in from Paris, France, so a little later in the day for me. Meeting with some of our brand partners and future brand partners, but just absolutely thrilled to walk you through just a quick deck that I put together for the occasion and tell you more about what I think is a pretty incredible opportunity. First off, I'm Barry. I'm the CEO and founder of Bardelia. This is my second company in the space. About 3.5 years ago, I founded, or co-founded, I should say, Boisson, and disagreed with the approach they were taking and left earlier last year in order to start my own. I'll quickly say that there's no non-compete preventions here or anything like that. We're in the clear. But you can see my screen, right, Greg? Thumbs up. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
you're all good.
So for now, we are an ecom only platform, but we're raising money in part to start opening our retail stores, and this will give you a good reason why. The deck that I'll go through here, and so we've noticed that the world no longer revolves around alcohol. And if you think of like how everyone on the call might approach alcohol lately, if you're like me, I still drink alcohol, but I look to drink a little bit less. And so we're seeing a real shift in, not just in the United States, but really around the world, how people are thinking about their consumption habits. You notice the trend in the last 100 years. Alcohol consumption really reached its peak in the 70s and 80s. In the 90s and 2000s, a shift to responsible drinking, and now we're really concerned about like what are the ingredients that are in the drink that I'm choosing. And that's changing how we're socializing, how we're celebrating, how we're gathering together with our friends. Ingredients, trying what we're looking to sample and then to buy is important. And then of course, like in an Amazon world that we find ourselves in, really accessibility is king. You know, if you look at these stats that are here in front of you and think I might be maybe pulling a rabbit out of a hat here, just ask yourself if in the last year have you looked to have more alcohol, about the same, or a little bit less? And so most people actually say a little bit less. It's a massive generational change that's pushing this as well. Gen Z actually reports that they haven't even tried alcohol. So you can't tell them what a Merlot or a lager or an IPA tastes like because they just haven't ever had that. And then, of course, just an absolute massive opportunity here. Just for definition purposes, when I say non-alcoholic, that we're a beverage or a retailer of non-alcoholic wine, beer, and spirits, or beverages, we're really talking about those things that are trying to mimic something that you already know. And then also a new class of products that are adaptogens, nootropics, things that are doing a little bit something better for you. So in that context, for a retailer to really succeed in 2024, we've got to bring a different set of ideas to the table and a different set of experiences. When you take a look at what leverage beverage companies are doing these days, hard to imagine that Anheuser-Busch and Diageo down about 30% each in the last 5 years. Now that, of course, takes into consideration COVID and the pandemic and that roller coaster. But you're seeing companies go to your local liquor store, go to your local grocer. What are they doing to survive this change? And I think the good companies are realizing this. We're seeing Keurig Dr. Pepper invest in the industry. Athletic now with an $800 million valuation. Just last week, you're seeing big companies scooping up non-alcoholic brands. And so I think there's a real opportunity here. And the common thread here, I think, is putting together a business that sees these changes and leans into it. Do I think liquor stores are going away? Absolutely not. But I do think that with this change in drinking culture, that a new set of liquor stores will have to step up, and that's what we've created, and that's what we'll continue to create. So, in short, we're absolutely thrilled to be in front of you today, and I'm happy to take your questions later. But I'm noticing my stopwatch says 5 minutes now, so I'll be a good participant and pass it on to the next. Thanks, Greg.
No, Barry, thank you. And I'll need to switch our marketing creative team over to the non-alcoholic side when they're putting together these pictures. So my sincere apologies on that one.
It's all good. He was better looking, so I'm sure
Oh,
that
I
participants.
disagree, man. I disagree. Nevertheless, yeah, as Barry said, please hit us with some questions if you're tuning in. Send them through the Q&A function here in Zoom or through the chat roll for everyone to see. With that said, though, I'd love to pass it over, Rob, to you. Rob Collins, founder of Coin. Tell us a little bit about the fintech space right now.
Sure. Coin is a very straightforward concept. We're a credit card company. We're a standalone credit card company. We're a Visa-backed credit card company with a sponsor bank. We're not an affinity card. We're actually a standalone credit card company, just like Cap One and American Express. And we cater to the largest ideological bloc in America, which is conservatives. I've been in conservative politics my whole life, and in 2014, even before Trump, I saw conservatives in corporate America were not seeing eye to eye. They were kind of diverging in their worldviews. And I thought it was an opportunity to build a seamless, easy consumer product. So I built a business while I was thinking about it. And during COVID, I started doing some market research. And in 2022, we launched the card. So I have a few slides here that I can share. Excuse me, hang on. Sorry, they did a new update here. Can you all see that?
We got your screen share. Yep.
All right, cool.
There you go.
So what is Coin? It's as I said, a Visa signature 1% cashback credit card. What makes us conservative is every time our customers swipe at no cost to them, we donate to conservative charities. We screen the charities, and once a quarter, to kind of gamify the charity piece, we put up our charities for a vote. And the biggest vote getter gets their percentage of the vote. So if you get 40% of the vote from our customers, You get 40% of the charity bucket, and the other 3 split the rest. We like to tell our customers we gave more money to conservative charities than the top 5 credit card companies combined in our first year, and this year's been even bigger. We have an enthusiastic customer base. They call us, they write us, they say, can I work for you? Can I invest with you? As you can see in our comments on the Republic page, can I get a flyer? I want to show my friends. Our customers don't need our card. They're super prime, FICO, average income over 136,000, but they want our card. So that means we have an engaged customer base, low delinquencies. We have a great acquisition cost I'll get to in a second. And like I said, we're a true credit card company. We've built our own tech stack, our own app, our own website, our own application, our own credit box, and our own operations, including customer service. So we outsource it, but they're 100% US based, and 100% Coin employees within the company. As you can see, total cards are 24,000. We started the year at 7,500 cards. The B round closed August of 2024. We hit the marketing gas, and this month we'll double what we did last month in new customer acquisition. The crazy thing is that we hit the marketing gas, and we have seen our customer acquisition cost stay below $100. Gross receivables in September were 19 million. We will be higher in October, and we will continue to grow. And the great thing is our revolver balance is 40% of our debt facility portfolio, which is higher than we planned in our 5-year model, but it shows, not only are conservatives using the card, but they're also revolving with us. And the team, which I'll hop to here in a second, we are experienced in our lane. I'm the founder, and what I think people would look at this and say I'm the political guy. So I was in Republican politics, governing in media for 20 years. I worked on Capitol Hill. I was the chief of staff. I ran the National Republican Senatorial Committee. Been around it my whole life, so I know how to talk to our audience. And I've also built and run big organizations. Mike comes from a large credit card company where he and his partner, Sean, helped found this with me, and they ran the subprime credit card at a top 3 credit card company. And Mike also ran the affinity program and all the marketing. So he's been an extremely valuable partner. And Chris Bergman, our CFO, comes from the banking side of the equation. So while we have a little more gray in our hair than we like, we are proud of our disciplines and our depth. And we have a very strong team. We have 9 people who work at Coin, so we're very lean on the staff side, and very focused on continuing to drive growth at a very low burn. So let's talk about our users. As I said, income is 136,000. This is a super prime audience. Our average credit FICO is 794, so we have no subprime or near prime exposure. Average monthly use is over 1,400, and we have incredibly low delinquencies. Our people they pay on time, primarily through our app. 92% of our customers pay through our app. Our customer acquisition is really the secret behind this. Just to put this in a perspective, with Coin, we offer no bonuses to our customers. It's just a credit card. It's like every card they've ever had. Where the other cards you see listed here, Amex and Chase, they offer bonuses to switch, and their marketing costs are high because they're a large publicly traded company. So we've built our card, and we're scaling the card and seeing our customer acquisition costs stay extremely low compared to competitors who are getting the exact same customers, those same FICOs, those same income brackets. How are we doing it? Well, we advertise on a multi-billion-dollar ecosystem called conservative media. Our competitors, they don't advertise on it. They're afraid of it. And there are people outside of Fox on this list. I'm looking at the Blaze right now that has audiences bigger than CNN, but they're a fifth of the cost of CNN 30-second ads. It's incredibly broad. The price points are great. They let us write the scripts, not only for our own ads, but the in-host endorsements. They're easy to work with, and the people we're targeting, they go to these sites by choice, and they're looking for lifestyle conservative options, what they watch, how they spend their money, how they spend their time. So Coin is a great fit. But while we're conservative, we're not controversial. We've never received a call from any of our vendors, any of our Visa or our bank saying dial it back. So we know the audience, we know how to talk to them, but we know how to talk to them in a way that doesn't draw the ire or angst. We don't endorse candidates. We don't endorse political parties. We don't attack candidates. We don't attack political parties. We really are about building up, not taking down. And what we're building is a platform. We have a large community. We think the TAM is 25 million and growing. As you can see in the red here, we have the credit card and the charities piece nailed down. We're about 2 months away from a deposit product, and we'll continue to grow the network, including a small medium business card and then opening the aperture for a card. But we think the opportunities are really exciting. Our audience is fired up. Obviously, during a political season, they're extra fired up, but even when it's not political season, we find our customers are engaged. This fits a need for them. They want a product that fits their lifestyle, fits their worldview, but is seamless. When I did all my market research, our customers said, give me something that doesn't take up a lot of time, but is really easy to use. And a credit card, while hard to build and it's a complicated product in one sense, is very easy for our customers because they've been using them since they were 16 years old. So anyway, I'm really glad to be here. As you can see, I believe they want all the questions to go through our Republic page. Well, we'd love for you to consider an investment. We're doing great, and we're going to keep pouring the gas on and keep talking to our folks. And I know our number is going to go even higher. And if you have any trouble, you can just email me at robc@coin.com. Some of our folks are at small rural banks, and they don't always connect even easily with the Republic. So we can help folks with that kind of workaround. With that, I will stop the share and kick it back to you.
I appreciate that, Rob. And I am going to steal a little bit of thunder here. Investors@republic.co. Also email us right there if you have any trouble.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, and definitely appreciate you making yourself accessible and available here. But yeah, totally recognize that I think Plaid covers like 98% of banks, but yeah, there might be a local regional bank that can't connect through Plaid to do their ACH. So we'll help them find alternative solutions or connect manually.
Yeah, not a criticism at all. Our folks.
Just one surface this morning. No,
Our
so I'm
folks are in
glad
flyover country, so they go to
yeah,
smaller kind of institutions. So
some detail to what you mentioned there. Well, super appreciative of the presentation and joining us today. Any questions? Again, I'm not going to stop promoting these. Please send them through. We'd love to send them over to Rob here, and then post presentation, yeah, reach out on the discussion board and he'll answer publicly there. Last but not least, Kevin, would love to bring you in here to tell us a little bit more about Sorbiforce.
Awesome. So give me just 1 second. I'll share my screen here.
Yep, it's coming. I can see the screen. Yep. If you have multiple monitors, we might be sharing a different screen though.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if this is gonna work. I'm hoping that it's gonna work here for me.
There we go.
All right, you guys can see that?
Yep, there you go, full screen. Cool.
Perfect. Well, thank you all for having me, and excited to be here to talk about Sorbiforce. Sorbiforce is a non-metal battery technology that leverages carbon, water, and salt to improve battery efficiencies and safety while eliminating the need for metals, mining, processing overseas, supply chains, and it's cost-effective battle for a circular economy built 100% in local markets. Yep. So our team, Serhii Kaminsky is the founder and CTO and CEO of the company. He couldn't make it today. I handle the marketing and outreach, and we just brought on William Matthews, who's our chief of sales. So the team has tons of experience. Our scientific team, originating from Ukraine, has many decades of experience. So a super strong team, both on the scientific side, but also on the marketing and sales side as well. So to give some context, we all know that the transition to renewable energy and expansion of energy usage globally is driving an energy storage market. One of the things that we see, even now, is that with renewable energy, and this is a critique people have, is that a lot of energy is lost because renewable energy, solar, wind, they only have certain durations where they're on, and so not just for renewable energy, but for energy in general, there's a need to have much more stored energy. So while there's a drive, there's also a challenge with basically battery development. To meet the needs of energy storage, we have to address current challenges of profitability, environmental impact, safety, and more. And what currently exists is that 90% of batteries essentially are lithium-ion batteries, and they're mainly processed in China. So the problem with lithium, which is a massive market, is that it has price fluctuation. We have another issue, the price, the supply chains are going to impact a lot of growth that's going to be going on. They also have a massive environmental impact. People don't think about it. Lithium is everywhere, but to get that lithium requires mining, and it has an impact on communities, and it has an impact on the environment itself. So how do we get to energy freedom? And that is something that lithium ion is not going to bring. So the SorbyForce battery, which I'll introduce here, is a game changer because it's a battery that can basically be produced from renewable materials. It's a water-based battery. It's safe. It's renewable. You can create from agricultural waste, recycled plastics. There's nothing metal in the battery, the anode or the cathode, and it has longer cycles than typical batteries have. It doesn't have other issues that are associated with lithium or other batteries that are out there. So it's a first of its kind. So what makes up the battery? Essentially, the elements are just carbon, water, and salt. That's it. And again, the battery, its absorption can be made from agricultural waste like biochar, and biochar will also be a massive industry, or salt left over from desalination plants. So part of what makes this so revolutionary in terms of a battery technology is that we found people are willing to pay us to take the materials we need to make their battery, which is really a game changer. Another massive game changer with the battery is that unlike the safety dangers of lithium-ion batteries, you can actually cut and I'll see if I can get this video to work here. Let's just see. I think it's not going to work, but let me try it up here. So if you guys can see this, I'll just play this. This is the cell of the SorbyForce battery. And if you try to do this with lithium ion or other types of batteries, you'd be in a lot of trouble. And not only are you able to do this safely, but the energy still stays on. So there we go. So the advantage is sustainability, technology, economics, local production, higher profits for investors while creating a better relationship with the planet and creating energy freedom, a battery that is made in the United States or in. So these are the materials that go into the battery. And this is really how we see the future is we're going to produce a bunch of energy storage. Will it be produced overseas with all these challenges, or is the battery going to be produced here from materials that fit into a circular economy? There's a lot of data here, but the main point I want to bring out from this slide is that the life cycle, 5,000 confirmed cycles in the laboratory of the battery, puts it at the cutting edge against most of the batteries that are out there. Also, there's no and it can be charged and discharged down to 100%, and it doesn't lose efficiencies. So we know that the battery market is going to increase. I think even what the actual numbers will be are hard to determine because there's going to be so much need for energy as we go forward and storage. This is the current from Fortune Business Insights, is that the global battery energy storage market valued in 2023 is $18 billion, and it's going to grow to $114 billion, over the next 10 years. Be a lot higher, and I think to project what the actual need is going to be as we develop and transition in this space. So a little bit about SorbiForce as we get to the conclusion here. We have over 25 patents. We have one provisional patent, US patent, and we have in our portfolio over 100 technological solutions that are integrated into our battery. The battery can be utilized anywhere. The one downside of the battery is that our density is twice the size of a lithium, like for cars or phones anytime soon. However, that doesn't preclude us being used for many other applications, from supporting renewable energy power plants, nuclear power plants, wind stations, EV charging. It's safer to place in city municipalities where there's even laws in some places against lithium-ion batteries because of the safety danger of fire issues. So lots of applications. You obviously have to start somewhere. So our target market for now is hospitals, data centers, and other critical facilities that use 100 kilowatt-hour batteries for backup power. Also EV charging stations, particularly in remote areas, combined with renewable energy resources, as there's going to be greater and greater demand for charging options for renewable for EVs. There's also interest from rural electrification where there isn't access to the grid. This is another great application for the SorbiForce battery, given land space, and also partnerships potentially with agricultural companies and farms where they're producing some of the materials that we can use to actually make the battery. SorbiForce batteries can fit into a 20-foot container and store 0.6 megawatt hours of energy. This is what we rolled out recently. This unit right here, they can be stacked and developed. So these are some of to give you a sense of how the battery goes, and what we're positioning to potential strategic partners to develop this, as well as buyers. And we're currently out in market looking for buyers for pre-orders of this battery now. The other thing is the cost of the SorbiForce battery, we're projecting at scale is $25 per kilowatt hour. If you look at that against a lithium ion, it just destroys any lithium ion batteries from a cost perspective. And we currently have 3 LOIs for initial deployment in 2025. These are some of the folks that have supported us. We recently graduated from Plug and Play in Arizona. Plug and Play is a global accelerator. While we were at the graduation, we gained some interest from Honeywell, where we're in talks with them, as well as other strategic partnerships that the team is currently focusing on as our business strategy. So we've currently raised over $500,000 on the Republic platform over 2 funding rounds. We have raised in total $1.7 million. We're currently in our seed round with a goal to raise $5 million. And that $5 million allows us to build up our production facilities, as well as secure additional patents and get certifications, all of which cost money. So these are our growth projections. We think there's we've gotten a ton of great feedback on this technology. People are very excited at the idea of producing a battery right here in the United States from recycled materials, and a battery that can be recycled down to essentially its main parts and regrown. So it's really a game changer in how we're thinking about energy storage and our relationship to the planet. I know it went a few minutes over, but I want to thank you all for this opportunity and looking forward to your questions. looking for strategic partners and investors, and of course, help on our crowdfunding raise on the Republic platform. So that's all I have for today, and thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Kevin. And yeah, don't apologize. We're relaxed here on timing today. Couple of thoughts real quick. I've spoken with Sir Hay. What a brilliant guy. It's a shame you couldn't be here today, but you crushed it there with the presentation as well. There was in the middle there a little bit of audio, and so we did have someone reach out. I think it was right before the when you were talking about the market size, energy density. If there's any details on the energy density, if you want to repeat those, I know Garish was a little bit curious.
Yeah, sorry about that. The one downside, if you want to put it that way, to the SorbyForce battery is that the energy density is about twice the size of a lithium-ion battery currently. So we are not as small as lithium-ion technology,
And that's just
which
like the
does
physical
preclude
size
us.
of your battery.
It's the physical size. So we're in the middle. So lead acid batteries
Got it.
are bigger than us. Lithium-ion batteries are smaller than us from a density perspective because we are a water-based battery.
That makes sense. Yeah. And I know you give the dimensions, I think, a little bit after that. So should answer the question adequately. Jarish, if there's anything else on that note, please send it in. And actually, Kevin, I'm going to stick with you. Just it seems like it's flowing well. In the development process, it sounds like you've got some LOIs out and potentially going to get into market early next year. But talk a little bit about where you stand in that development process.
Yeah, so we, currently we came out of R&D, and at Plug and Play, we just the beginning of this month, actually, we just showcased our first battery unit. So we had a unit that was there, and it was powering a fan and some other things. So that has just been produced. We are currently, our business strategy is with strategic partnerships where there might be companies that want to start doing pre-orders, and then we can build the batteries, and that gives us the ability to also build out our production facilities. We have hired a sales leader and who has a great deal of experience in the renewable energy space. Will has taken companies from $0 to $50 million in this space, and he has many connections in the battery industry. He worked with another battery startup that's very successful, leveraging Will to reach out for strategic partnerships and potential sales. So we have many things in the cooker. There's demand, and it's just a matter of there's always the cart horse challenge. We need to get funds in the door to build batteries, but we have definitely grown in terms of real concrete interest and partnerships. So we expect to be building and deploying batteries in 2025.
Amazing. And Barry, I'm coming to you in just a second here. We'll start with some of those prepared questions. Kevin, I think this is, once again, right on cue with what we're talking about. Is your battery lighter than lithium-ion batteries for the same power density?
It is not lighter. It's a bit heavier.
A little bit heavier. Okay.
Now,
Garish,
there's a caveat. There is a caveat to that, or a parentheses, is that the SorbyForce battery does not require the same number of accoutrements that come with a lithium-ion battery. So the energy management system is different than a lithium-ion battery. Some of the safety things that have to come with it in the inverters, some of these things are different. So on a cell level, we're bigger. At scale, very to lithium-ion. Just at a cell level, we're a little different. But when you're talking about not just a battery, but a battery energy storage system as a system, we're actually very comparable in size.
Makes a lot of sense. Well, yeah, Garish, thank you once again for the questions. I know you got one more in there. We'll get to it in just a few minutes. Ask any on the discussion board as well. But Barry, would love to start a couple of prepared questions with you. Saw you taking a sip of something. I hope it's something that you have on your marketplace as well. But just when talking to investors, pretty broad question, and it's something I ask often. What gets them really excited about Bardalia? And then what are some of the concerns you might also hear from investors as well?
Yeah, let me start with the concern. So, the first concern is how do we compete in an Amazon world? And so we're actively investing that, and we do that through our brick and mortar strategy as well as our e-com strategy, as well as a 3PL strategy. But we've negotiated really, I think, best in class rates with UPS, so we can get heavy bottles of liquid out just as inexpensively as we possibly can. The other concern that we hear a good bit, and we keep our ears to the ground as best we can, is how are people going to purchase these things in the future? We have added as board advisors deep experience with Anheuser-Busch and also Diageo, some legacy alcohol brands, distributors, retailers, just so we can, again, listen to the pulse, if you will, on where everyone thinks this industry might be going. If you go to your local grocery store, your local Target, you'll start to see some of these options pop up. But the way I look at that is liquor stores, grocery stores, stores like big box retailers like Target, they're only going to allow a certain amount of shelf space to these products because they're already saying no to too many out there. So those are the concerns that we hear. So I wanted to address those first. The the um the things about what we're building at Bardalia that get people really excited is I would say my experience in the industry. This is no longer your grandfather's or your father's O'Doul's market. Whereas it might have been looked down on to have these products in the past, they're quickly becoming like the cool thing to do. You look at some of the celebrities that are choosing to step away from alcohol either for a drink or a day or a week or a month or even a year or permanently. Another thing that gets people quite excited is when I tell them that 90% of our customers still drink alcohol. So it is people that are just looking to have a healthier moment of the day, week, month, or year. I think also when you look at where we are just on the brand side, I refer to it as almost like a Steve and Steve moment in their garage, trying to put together the best product that they possibly can. That's how we are on the brand side. Not a lot of barrier to entry to bring a product to market right now. FDA labels on everything, which is nice and convenient, particularly as we as a civilization start to look and notice those ingredients a little bit more. I think our revenue stream that relies not just on e-com, but also brick and mortar, also partnering with brands, also owning a bit of the brands that we're showcasing in our stores. And then within our stores, looking for ways to attract customers. One of the deep expertise that we have on the team is on the Google side. My partner works for Google Analytics. We're able to bring that prowess to the team. But also, when we look at how we are thoughtful about bringing customers into our space and partnering with other retailers. For example, wouldn't it be nice to go into a Bardalia store and while you're there purchasing your non-alcoholic wine or some other beverages, wouldn't it be nice to also get cut flowers and maybe like a charcuterie or maybe some other things? And so we're being thoughtful and reaching out to existing companies that want to have a smaller retail space. The technical term here is rent arbitrage. A sub-permanent space within our stores, and that way, when someone searches on Google.com for flowers or charcuterie or wine or beer or what have you, we're coming up as an option for them to come into the store. We're being very thoughtful about the experiences that we're creating. We're bringing best of class knowledge there to really make sure that our stores are places that people want to go and want to hang out, and just be mindful of how we build community. can I take a few more minutes, Greg, and just walk you through like some of the things that we put together now, or do I need to pause
No,
and do that?
I think that's all good. And Rob, Kevin, feel free to do the same here. We got 20 more minutes, so we're good.
Okay. I cannot share while you're sharing, if you don't mind.
Happy to. There you go.
Thank you. So this is our site. There you saw an accurate picture of
That's a
me.
fascinating stat while this is loading. 90% of your customers are not dry, like they're still drinking alcohol.
That's right. And, you know, like we, like I said earlier, I know, you know, I'm looking at the participant count. It looks like a few folks trickled in. You know, I still drink alcohol. So this is not a teetotaler movement. This is not just only for sober people. This is, you know, products that I think like, you know, no matter your relationship with alcohol, you can enjoy. So this is our website. We purpose built it to be super easy to navigate. You know, put all the things that you would want to find on there. We made sure that we have the best rewards and loyalty program in the industry. We make it very convenient for folks who may be, you know, vegan or gluten-free or pregnancy safe. We have the ability for them to chat in at all hours. And if you don't want to do that, another industry first that we added is the very first fully conversational AI chat agent called Sam. And so this was a callback to my dad, who's a massive Cheers fan. So this was Sam Malone, the bartender from Cheers. So Sam, the sip advisor. So I'm not going to demo it here because I was in SaaS sales for too long to know that you don't do that live on a thing, lest you tempt the going wrong gods. But you can actually go to Sam and say, you know, hey, I'm hosting Thanksgiving dinner for a couple of friends. Some of them are gluten free, some of them are vegan. I need something that would pair well with turkey. And Sam will do a wonderful job of giving you not one, not two, but three different options, giving you the ability to like link to those options and add them immediately to your cart. But you know, I'll say again, you can you know, simply go to you know, your local restaurant, your local bar, check and see some of the products that they're carrying. We've made sure to really hang our hat on finding the best in the business that we could find. Klosthaler, of course, makes actual alcohol. Sam Adams, you may recognize, and of course Corona. So we have those options, plus a lot of like interesting like craft options as well. So we really want to make sure that we have a nice rounded out collection where no matter your preference, and again, you know, some questions that you can ask Sam, like, you know, tell Sam your taste preference, and he'll be able to, you know, say something that or suggest something that you might try. So that's something else that our investors are quite pleased with, is the way that we're ever able to leverage technology, leverage industry know-how, and leverage multiple streams of revenue to really create something that will one day be primed to be acquired by a company like Anheuser, a company like Diageo, that soon realize that they're losing a mass portion of their audience to these products, and we'll have the infrastructure and we'll have the company set up so they can acquire and plug into their existing portfolio.
Really cool stuff. I can't wait to have a conversation with Sam. I love it. Well, Rob, I'd love to give you a couple of minutes here as well. You know, I'm sure you've spoken with investors on the institutional side, of course, on the retail side as well. I'd love to hear what gets them really psyched about Coin, and then some of the concerns you might also hear from them.
Yeah, Coin is really exciting right now because of our growth story. We're a rapidly growing company. We're adding customers. We had a record day yesterday. Sometimes you get lucky and your commercial runs during a Trump town hall, and we had an unbelievable day and on Fox. And so we're adding customers, yet we're seeing our customer acquisition costs stay relatively flat. And so, you know, the feeling is that there's a ton of upside on the growth side. From a customer service, customer review, you know, satisfaction, our net promoter score is over 60. So we have a really excited, dedicated audience. The other exciting thing is, we have a wait list as we expand product offerings. Right now, we're only a super prime credit card, but soon as we expand product offerings, we have tens of thousands of people on a wait list who are waiting for those products. And, we talk to them at least once a week, just kind of keeping their inbox and we see open rates sometimes as high as 65% on our weekly emails, so we have an engaged audience, and that's really the kind of the secret to our sauce. The other great thing is, we have debt facilities that our cost of funds are below market. We've been able to, because of our super prime audience, work with lenders who are extending us debt, even as a startup, at a very low and very cost-effective rate. So, in every major city, there's towers dedicated to credit cards. So it's a huge, huge market. We're the only ones servicing this side of the equation, where our customers know that their commerce is being used for things that they support. And we don't have to do it in a negative or destructive way. It's always very positive. We're building infrastructure in America through charities that are making our country better. So it's been a really great, rewarding experience. Like I said, our customers love us. They call us. They want to work with us. They want to tell their friends. Our fastest growing program is Authorized User, which allows you to get your spouse or children or anyone over 16 a card. And with no marketing spend, with really just talking about it in our weekly newsletter, it's our second largest program behind just straight up customer acquisition. So yeah, we feel really good. It's not an easy business to be in. It's a competitive business, but every time we've hit a hill, we've sailed over it. So we're really pleased where we are and feel really good about the future.
Amazing. Kevin, love to ask that same question over to you. And I know you kind of dived into some of the the comparison matrix with some of the other battery both types and providers. But talk a little bit about how investors perceive your growth in Sorby and what are some of the advantages that they see in you guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of excitement about the battery technology itself. We've been told you have the holy grail of batteries. We've gotten excitement from folks at the DOE and others. I think from investor standpoint, for VCs in particular, they are looking for commercial scalability, and they want to see that box checked, which is can be challenging for hardware because you actually need funds to create products to scale, and that's why. But we did an outreach to 10,000 VCs and actually got 350 that responded, and we had conversations with over 30 of them who were interested in different ways when we got to basically like a sales standpoint. So we're sort of at that cusp. But strategically, we've also got interest from strategic partners, and we think that that's a great way to grow because with larger, even mid-sized companies, there can be an opportunity where they're helping us to scale up the battery, and then they're getting some benefits from that. So that's something we're also going down the road and investing in. We're based in Arizona, and I've had some great introductions from the Arizona Commerce Authority and working through the Plug and Play Accelerator. So there's also some other renewable energy companies and local communities where we're in talks with setting up and showcasing the battery. So that's one of the things people want to see. Is that real? Is that battery real? Like what you're talking about? So people want to look, touch, feel, see it in operation, and we need to do that on a larger scale. But yeah, that's why the Republic platform, honestly, and folks that are contributing to the Sorby Force mission on the Republic platform is so critical to us because it provides the resources by which we can scale. We know the demand is there. A year ago, I had somebody say, "Can I buy $50 million worth of these batteries?" It was a serious offer from an EV charging company, but you have to have the batteries to deliver that, of course. So we know the market's there, and it's just a question of the steps that need to be taken to get to where we need to go.
For sure, and I'll stick with you here as well, and I'll agree that strategic partnerships are very often a great strategy, both to bring capital in the door and, you know, get your product out in the wild. So yeah, best of luck landing those. Sounds like somewhere you already got some LOIs and some indications of interest as well. Would love to talk about your next big milestone as a company, both you know, landing those contracts and continuing to ramp up production. But what are some of the other big milestones on your radar? And I know you guys talked about just the growth of the battery storage industry that you see happening over the next 5 to 10 years. What's a huge milestone that you guys are working towards, and how do you see yourself accomplishing it?
Yeah, I think the milestones are very clear for us. So raising $5 million allows us to build a production facility in Arizona. We've gotten a lot of introductions through the Arizona Commerce Authority, so there's a lot of friends in Tempe and around Phoenix to start production. So the $5 million also gives us resources to fill out our team and bring, you know, hire people, and it also allows us to secure more patents and certifications. So these are all things that are necessary from a growth perspective. So the fundraising is critical. I think the other milestones will be securing those strategic partnerships and moving from LOI to actual agreements where we're working on, you know,
Yeah, that
deploying
makes total sense. You
these
mentioned
batteries.
yeah, definitely. You mentioned the number of patents you guys have earlier. So definitely, you know, you're taking all the steps needed to protect your technology as well. So that's great to hear, and I'm sure comforts investors as well. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. Rob, would love to ask that same question to you. And I know you went in a little bit about your roadmap, you know, coming up, even to end out this year and into next year as well. But talk a little bit more about that. What are some of the next big milestones that you guys have as a company, you know, leading up to the election and then even beyond, and then how you're going to accomplish those?
Yeah, and we're not really tied to the elections, but they are obviously an important kind of focal point for our people. But we feel like we're going to kind of float unattached to them. But you know, first I would say go to our Republic page if you can. There's some videos there. You can see our commercials that we're running on Fox and Newsmax, and kind of get a feel for the media and the press that I do and my coworker Cassie does. And I think that'll give you a good flavor. There's also a 268-page SEC filing if you want to kind of really learn about us. But I think we answer a lot of questions there. But, you know, roadmap or kind of milestones we're looking forward to is, you know, we'd like to get a deposit product in place in Q4. That'll give our customers and then folks who don't quite fit our credit box right now, a secondary product that they can invest in, or if folks aren't ready to move from their credit card, but, you know, we just want a high yield deposit product, FDIC insured. It's just kind of a way for them to participate. Obviously, card growth, continuing a sustained and steady card growth. I told you in August we hit the gas on the marketing side, and the results have been fantastic. Just kind of maintaining that and building for, you know, the growth. And then I think the third thing is just to continue to engage with the community. You know, we already have over 100,000 size. I mean, it's over 100,000 not customers, but community members. Just continuing to grow that community. You know, keep it positive, keep it light, have some fun, but really offer them a really high quality consumer experience. And then I think downrange small medium business card is a huge opportunity for us, not only with businesses that align with our values or that have been kind of pushed out of kind of mainstream banking. But also, while we will never endorse a candidate or a political party, every candidate and political party has a credit card. And, you know, in 2020, America spent $14.8 billion on politics. We're going to spend more than that in 2024. So it's just a huge market that we think we could tap into. And we're really the only game in town. We're the only, you know, we have no competitors. You know, we have a 3-year head start on anybody. And so we feel really good about our positioning, and those are kind of our big milestones. You know, obviously profitability and exit are something we think about and look, you know, probably beyond 2027 for those milestones.
Yeah, another fascinating stat. But yeah, appreciate that thought. Barry, would love to pass that over to you to round out this question, milestones that you guys have for Bardelia in the near and long-term future.
Yeah, that's a great question. So we are actually in the midst of our busiest season of the year. it was not a thing about 2 or 3 years ago, but I'd like to wish everyone who's celebrating a sober October. So sober October through what you may have heard of, which is dry January. Typically, retailers look for week-on-week growth. We've certainly seen that toward the tail end of September on through to now, and look forward to that to dry January. And then the next big milestone for us is now that we've got our e-com store clicking along, seeing month-on-month growth there. It's now time for us to open up a brick and mortar store. We have the locations identified where we're doing that. An opportunity presented itself a few weeks back that we're taking a look at actually acquiring a few bottle shops that have been around for a year or more and have proven themselves to be profitable already. And so, so really getting that in place, we have an affiliate marketing program partnered with a company called Shop My. And so that's going. Hopefully, you'll be able to see some of your favorite influencers and celebrities with a Bardelia product in their hands. And then, like I said at the top of the call, I'm currently in Europe talking to some partners here, both from an investment side and also just getting their brand onto our shelves. So those are the big milestones for us.
Amazing. Yes, sober October, leading into dry January. I'm sure it's definitely a busy season. I'd love to give everyone just a couple seconds to kind of close us out. I did skip one of my prepared questions. I think you all touched on it a little bit, Barry, as we were talking about the landscape changes in your industry, people looking for alcohol-free options, Rob, as people looking for alternatives that are going to contribute to things that they believe in. And then, of course, Kevin, with just the battery storage industry ramping up. So if you want to detail that a little bit further, please do during these closing remarks. But I'd love to give all three of you guys a chance to just to close us out here as we are coming up at the top of the hour. Barry, we'll start with you.
Yeah. So, listen, I should have compared notes with Rob a little bit to get this exactly right in an election year. But I'd humbly ask for your investment. I'd like to earn your investment. I should do a lot of thumbs ups, I think, Rob. But in all seriousness, we have the rocket ship built. We're trying to put gas in it right now. We have a lot of good traction. Happy to answer any questions through the Republic platform. Just very excited to be in this space. Feel like with my experience in the industry for the last almost 4 years, I'm the only person who has done this with success, which has opened more than one of these retail stores. I know how profitable they can be. So I feel like I have a bit of a learned secret here. And again, I would ask you to ask your family and friends, particularly the young ones, what they're drinking these days. And so again, would humbly ask that you visit republic.com/Bardelia or follow the QR code there, and become an owner, because I think this is a very exciting industry. We're only at the cusp of it. We're about to see the big boys get into it, both on the product side and the acquisition side. And so we want to lay down the infrastructure to make that very interesting, very profitable for all of our investors in days and weeks to come.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Rob, looks like you're getting ready for another meeting.
Yeah, I'm sorry to go, guys.
good.
I echo my co-founder's comments. Please go to the website, check us out. We'd love to have your support. It's critical, and we're building something awesome, and we'd love to have you a part of it.
Cheers. Thanks for joining us today. Kevin, go ahead and round us out here.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming, and thanks for hearing us out. I think SorbyForce, we are trying to change the way that our relationship with the planet, on a fundamental level. So for the dreamers and people that want to see a more sustainable planet, that's what this battery does. It's a battery that changes the way that we engage with the planet to produce energy and to store energy. To the investors, energy freedom. If you can produce a battery in Arizona from recycled materials that's been given to you by a farmer, and it runs better than most lithium-ion batteries, that's energy freedom right there. And as we increase, the need for energy storage, that puts America at a huge advantage, and it puts any local market that's investing and buying these batteries at a huge advantage. And the one last piece that actually I didn't say, but I'm just going to sneak in here, is the question of insurance. Insurance, some places are not even able to be insured anymore. This is a safe battery. It doesn't explode, doesn't catch on fire. And from an insurance standpoint, when you're deploying these assets, that's a cost. So people can say, hey, lithium ion's cheaper, but you start adding in all the other things that has to come with lithium ion, Sorby just completely destroys from a cost perspective. So if that's inspiring to you and you want to invest, join us, join the force and the Sorby force, and let's change the game on energy storage.
Man, that's actually a very great point. So I'm glad you were able to slip that in. Insurance costs are through the roof right now, and anything you can do to mitigate that is definitely an advantage. Gentlemen, really appreciate you taking an hour out of your Thursday to join us, and to everyone who tuned in, same appreciation there. Thanks for hopping in and listening. Please do visit all three of these offering pages, engage with Barry, Kevin, and Rob's team as well. Ask any questions on their discussion board. They'd love to talk to you. But with that said, I'll let everyone get going. Back to your Thursday, and we'll see you next month on the next episode of the Unicorn Hunt. So everyone take care.
Thanks so much, everybody.